The main premise of this presentation is that God is systematic, progressive, and periodic in revealing His will to mankind through men we call messengers or prophets or manifestations of God. Some of the founders of the major world religions are manifestations of God, are well known. Others are not. The usual list of well-known prophets includes Krishna, Buddha, Zoroaster, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and in recent times Baha'is believe the Bab and Baha'u'llah. Each individual manifestation relays God's spiritual and social teachings to humanity. Each manifestation of God founds a religion. Each messenger establishes a covenant concerning the coming of the next manifestation who will appear after himself. This process of revelation has always existed in the past, and it is a process that will continue to exist forevermore in the future. Viewed this way, we can see that the religions founded by the various manifestations of God is an evolutionary process, and that each manifestation of God brings a larger measure of revelation and understanding to humankind than the previous one. The differences in the messages brought by the manifestations of God can be attributed to various social and human needs, the varying requirements of the age, and the spiritual capacity of humanity. These differences are seen to be needed to serve the needs of a society that has progressively evolved through higher and higher stages of unity, from the family to tribes to nations, etc. The manifestations of God have each proclaimed eternal moral and spiritual truths that do not change, and which are renewed from age to age. At the same time, there also are social teachings that are modified or discarded to meet the social needs of humanity at that stage of its development. Social teachings may include things such as laws of conduct, diet, institutions, ceremonies, and so on. These may change significantly from manifestation to manifestation. Spiritual teachings, on the other hand, are universal and do not change. Spiritual principles include the teachings like the Golden Rule. Thus, the spiritual aspect of the message is universal and does not change, while the social teachings can be changed and are seen to be relative and not absolute. Religion can be compared to grades in school. Concepts which may have been appropriate to teach in primary school would be quite inappropriate in high school or college. It is not necessary to suggest that earlier beliefs were wrong, since when the larger process is recognized, we can see that they were necessary steps to promote the social growth of humanity at the time. This viewpoint can help to resolve many of the apparent conflicts between the differing theologies of the world. Each different religion may have had truth explained differently according to the needs of the recipients of the teaching. Viewed this way, we can see that religion is a progressively unfolding process. So, the manifestation of God is seen as restoring the essential truths of religion and returning the faithful to the correct practice. Simultaneously, the manifestation eliminates redundant or corrupt social practices and creates social structures that will support the betterment of mankind. Here's a quote from Baha'u'llah. Quote, "There can be no doubt whatever that the peoples of the world of whatever race or religion derive their inspiration from one heavenly source and are the subjects of one God. The difference between the ordinances under which they abide should be attributed to the varying requirements and exigencies of the age in which they were revealed. Arise, and armed with the power of faith, shatter to pieces the gods of your vain imaginings, the sowers of dissension amongst you. Cleave unto that which draweth you together and uniteth you." That's a quote from Baha'u'llah. Abdu'l-Baha said, "The creator of all is one God. From this same God, all creation sprang into existence, and he is the one goal towards which everything in nature yearns." Abdu'l-Baha continues, "The diversity in the human family should be the cause of love and harmony, as it is in music, where many different notes blend together in the making of a perfect chord. If you meet those of different race and color from yourself, do not mistrust them and withdraw yourself into your shell of conventionality, but rather be glad and show them kindness. Likewise, when you meet those whose opinions differ from your own, do not turn away your face from them. All are seeking truth, and there are many roads leading thereto. Truth has many aspects, but it remains always and forever one. Do not allow differences of opinion or diversity of thought to separate you from your fellow men, or to be the cause of dispute, hatred, and strife in your hearts. Rather, search diligently for the truth, and make all men your friends. There is one God, mankind is one, the foundations of religion are one. Let us worship him and give praise for all his great prophets and messengers who have manifested his brightness and glory. We offer thanksgiving unto God in all circumstances, and cherish the hope that he, exalted be his glory, may, through his gracious providence, guide all who dwell on earth towards that which is acceptable and pleasing unto him." That's a quote from Abdu'l-Baha. So in the Baha'i viewpoint, God is one, there's only one religion, humanity is one, all races should agree, and men and women are equal. Baha'u'llah said, "Women and men have been and will always be equal in the sight of God." Abdu'l-Baha said, "When all mankind shall receive the same opportunity of education and the equality of men and women be realized, the foundations of war will be utterly destroyed." To close this presentation, I would like to read to you this invitation from Baha'u'llah. He said, quote, "Verily I say, this is the day in which mankind can behold the face and hear the voice of the Promised One. The call of God hath been raised, and the light of his countenance hath been lifted up upon men. It behoveth every man to blot out the trace of every idle word from the tablet of his heart, and to gaze with an open and unbiased mind on the signs of his revelation, the proofs of his mission, and the tokens of his glory." Unquote. Thank you for listening.